Fresh style, shining fantastic, song the disc, and you like, what's this, K? Welcome to the get down. Hope you're ready to get down, shining fantastic, song the disc, and you like, what's this, K? Welcome to the get down.
Hey everybody, I'm back to talk about the second episode of the Get Down. Okay, now in this episode, Grandmaster Flash shows up over to Shao's house, and Zeke and Rara and Boo and what's the other one name? Dizzy are all there, and he comes in and he hands Shao this crayon, and he tells him, the key to being a DJ is within this crayon. And he told them all to work together to figure out how it works. And so all the boys get irritated about it, and they leave. Everybody except Zeke. So throughout the day, they just hold this crayon and, they try to figure out what in the world is he talking about with this crayon? How is this the key to being a successful DJ? What in the world is going on here? So they took a break and they went on the roof, and Shao showed Zeke his little pigeon coop. And he let all the pigeons out, and they all kind of formed this formation as they were flying. And the more Zeke looked at it, the more it clicked into his head that they were doing like this spiraling kind of emotion, and it made him think about that crayon. And so the key was, look, I don't know nothing about DJing and scratching and doing all that stuff. I don't know nothing about it, but anyway, so he goes to the record and he draws this line, and I guess it's a line to tell you where the beat begins and where it stops, and where you should like wind it back and start it. I don't know, whatever. It has something to do with that. And so Zeke helped him figure it out, and Shao was so hype, and he was just very happy about it. And so also in this episode, Shao makes the decision to become a full-time DJ. That's what he wants to do. Well, really, he decided in the last episode, but in this episode, he makes it his reality. So he sits down with Fat Annie and he tells her, "Look, I'm gonna leave the game for a little while because I'm trying to pursue this DJing thing." And she was very negative to him, and she was like, all y'all dudes really think y'all got talent, and at the end of the day you end up coming right back here to me. So when you come back and all your little dreams are shattered, it's not going to be as easy to get back in. And he was just looking at her like, man, okay, whatever, because he's very determined and that's what he wants to do. And so that happens. So when Shao talks to Grandmaster Flash again and he lets him know, look, we figured it out. Okay, then Grandmaster sits down and he shows him how to do a continuous song, how to take one record and make it play, and then you merge in the other one to make it one continuous song. So he kind of shows him with the crayon, giving him the baby steps how to do it. So he goes ahead and he does that, and he tells him, this is what you do. You study this, you make one continuous song, and then you holler back at me. And so Shao, he does this from sun up to sundown. He is just mixing his life away. And all the guys are there and they're trying to encourage him, and to keep it going. And keep in mind, this is the same song over and over and over again. And they are all like losing it, by the end of it. But anyway, so while they're up there doing that, here comes Mylene. Now let me rewind for just 1 second. So Mylene, she's under punishment and she's gonna have to work her whole summer or whatever. And her uncle is trying to help her with her singing career. And so he sets it up to where Mylene can go meet with this woman to make her a dress, because her uncle has this guy that's going to come to the church to see her sing on Sunday. And so he wants her to get this dress made and to look, really nice. And he told the woman who was doing the dress, make sure that it's classy and neat and nice and nothing too flashy. Don't be acting crazy because they're in church, okay? And Mylene is all excited about it, and she's happy that her uncle is helping her, which I am too, because at the end of the day, Mylene's parents are very strict, specifically her father. And I don't know, it's just so weird because when she was practicing her song for Sunday, and she was having a solo, of course. It was going to be her time to shine. And when her father walked past the door and he saw her in there practicing, he just kind of gave her this look like, I don't want you to have a solo. You know what I mean? It's like he wants to kill her dream of being a singer because he knows that's what she wants to do. So seeing her put so much effort into singing and all of this, he ready to kill that dream. So anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. So she wants to kind of remix one of the songs to kind of make it upbeat so that when this guy comes to see her, it's not just, ha ha. You know what I mean? It's not such a churchy song. She want to put some funk in it. So she goes and she finds Zeke. And Shao's place is supposed to be like this secret place, and nobody is supposed to know where he live and all of that because, you know, he's on this kung fu secret mission, whatever type of a deal. So he was pissed. He's like, man, how does B know where I live? And Zeke had to, he had to check him. Don't be calling her no B. Calm down. So Zeke goes down there and he's like, what you want? Now keep in mind, he's still in his feelings because he professed his love for her and she rejected him like on the spot. Okay, so he's still a little salty about that. So she's talking to him all nice and sweet, and he's like, what are you here for? Like, cut all that. What do you want? And she tells him, I need you to come play the piano at the church, because I'm trying to do this, this, and that. And he cut her right off, and he's like, nah, see, you wouldn't even be here if you didn't need me. So now, F you, Mylene. And he walked off, and I was like, ooh. A part of me was like, that's right. Tell her that. She gonna step on your heart and then she gonna come ask you a favor. Nah, go find one of them grown men you was talking about. Go find one of them and let them do it. But he gets back upstairs and that's how Shy was. He was like, yeah, you told her right. You did good. Thank you. But Rara was like, man, come here. Ain't she your friend though? And she needs you. Like, why would you not go help her out? Like, for real, come on, help her out. And so that kind of talked him into it. So he did. He ended up showing up at church Sunday to play the music, and everything was going good until Mylene's daddy came to her and was like, I cut your solo because I knew that it was prideful for me to be using you and your voice to get people to show up and come to church. I should be able to just get people in the regular way and not use you. Come on now. I didn't believe that for a minute. That ain't even what it was about. It's about you crushing that girl's dreams to be a singer. She had a solo and you saw her practicing for it. So he cut it out. That's what it was. And it had nothing to do with no pride and all. It ain't had nothing to do with all of that. Cut it out. So she was crushed. And so, the church service is going on and she sees the guy that her uncle sent. He showed up and she's just looking like, oh my goodness, I ain't gonna get to, sing or whatever. So as dude was leaving, she just busts out and starts singing. And, Zeke is playing and everything is going according to plan. But y'all, this girl took her church robe off. And the dress that the woman made for her, honey, her boobs was all pushed up and out. And it had slits on the side. And honey, it had slits all the way up to her thigh. I mean, it was just like, that was a club dress, honey. That ain't nothing you wear to church. Now, Mylene, girl, you know good and well you don't be wearing nothing like that up under that. Now, listen, it'd be different if nobody saw that dress. They didn't see the light of day while you was in that church. But girl, what you thought was gonna happen when you pulled off that robe and had that revealing dress on? And I was just sitting there like, what are you doing? And her daddy was looking like, I'm a killer. Soon all these people leave, I'm gonna kill her. She's dead. She's toast. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Bye-bye, Mylene. I knew that wasn't gonna end well, but anyway. Girl. let's talk about Cadillac and his retarded self. Ooh. Oh, excuse the term retarded. I did not mean that in an offensive way. I just mean he's crazy and delusional. What are you doing? So, anywho, they are still trying to figure out who ordered the hit on Fat Annie. So, Cadillac is on the mission to find out. So, he grabs, two of the little gangster guys that was involved in that shooting, because they actually killed like the older brother of the one of the boys. So they pulled them in and they set him down and they talked to him. It was Cadillac and Shaolin Fantastic's dad. So they are in the club and they got the two little boys sitting there and they're questioning them about who hired them to shoot up the club. And originally the plan was to just scare them. But since Cadillac is an idiot, he was sniffing lines and, twirling that little gun around. And he was doing the most. He was dancing and blowing smoke in their face and burning them with cigarettes. I mean, he was just acting coked out and crazy. And so Shao's dad, was like, man, well, if you don't put this gun down. So they wrestle with this gun. And as they're wrestling with the gun, it goes off and it kills the youngest little boy. And all while they fussing at each other like, man, what are you doing? I can't believe da 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 da. They was doing all of that. The other little boy got away. So now they got this dead body that they got to get rid of. And like the police commissioner, or he's somebody, he came in and he was talking to Fat Annie earlier in the episode. And he was just telling her, I can keep protecting you and, doing different things. But come on, you can't keep dropping all of these bodies. I don't need no more bodies on my hands or else I can't help you. And so it's kind of messed up because now they got a body and it's a kid. And Cadillac is thinking in his mind, I got to get rid of this body. So by the end of the episode, Shao finally learns how to make a continuous song and he gets it. And the boys, they all celebrate. They go out to eat. They just having a good old time. And the only one that didn't go was Dizzy. And he was in the house, just chilling. And all of a sudden, some little boys from that gang again, because that's what they do. They burn down buildings for people so that people can get the insurance money. This is just a horrible time in New York, obviously, because this is obviously something people were doing. Like, what are you doing? So this happened to be one of the buildings that they were burning down. And so Dizzy, he gets out and he was able to grab one turntable and he ran out of there and Shao's whole place burned down. And I was like, oh my goodness, what in the world? All those records and stuff he was collecting, everything that he had burned down. And I was thinking, I wonder if Fat Annie, hired that little job to be done, because that's mighty convenient that the day that he comes and tells her he don't want to work for her no more, his place get burnt up with everything he owns in it. That's mighty, mighty convenient. So I don't know. My prediction is she ordered that to happen and just to get him back, because by the end of it, Shao was talking to Zeke and he was like, well, you gonna help me get this money, because we can't let that stop us, because we got to get our money back up. So we need to go get us a couple of packages and, sell it and do what we need to do to get our money up. And Zeke was like, nah, I'm going to get my money the legit way. I can go, do some work with my uncle and we can get the money. And Shao was like, man, that little bum money, like, no, we can go make this money in 2 or 3 days instead of 2 or 3 months. Like, let's go get this money, because he about that life. Like, that's just something he's used to. And he was telling Zeke, you live in a fantasy world. This ain't how the world works. If you want to get this money, you got to do it this way. So it seems like Zeke is going to go try to do it a legit way. And oh my goodness, Shao is probably going to have to go back to Fat Annie. And she is just waiting on him to come back. So that was the episode 2 of The Get Down. like I said, I'm trying my best not to sit down and binge watch all of these episodes back to back because it's so good and I want to watch all of them. So I'm trying to take my time and go through and do each one of them separately. So, okay, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Oh, if I left anything out, drop it down below in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Hope you're ready to get down. Shellyse fantastic song and this, and you like what's this? K, welcome to the get down.